Vasishta continued, "However difficult it may be to reach this state, Ram, strive for it and cross this ocean of sorrow." This ocean of sorrow is within our own psyche. And this is what we need to cross. We need to swim upstream, as it were, going against all our tendencies to look out for something which will give us comfort. We're looking for these things which will coddle us and make us feel okay. And this is what takes the attention away from itself. Our attention is constantly scanning around, scoping the situation for something it can latch on to, something which will provide it with some temporary comfort. But it's even deeper than that. This desire for experience arises as a thought in consciousness, and by the repetition of this thought it gains strength. There's something perfectly natural about it. We are entering into a mode of finite awareness. This is what consciousness does. Consciousness is essentially infinite, but it operates in different modes. The scientific and technological mode is one, for example. There's experiencing going on. There's an infinite variety of experiencing going on. But we've got this desire for experience. This is the cognitive process which wants to home in on aspects of that experience. And this is how consciousness limits itself. This is the illusory creation. We start thinking in terms of objects which are no more than notions. Thus, having brought about the illusory creation within itself, consciousness leads itself to its own liberation. So eventually it does find its way back. And this is what the Yoga Vasishtha is about. It's addressing consciousness. It's reminding consciousness of its own nature. It's reminding it of its infinite mode. The finite mode is one thing, it's one mode, but we've got into the idea of believing it's the exclusive mode. It's our exclusive mode of being. That's our illusion. The Yoga Vasishtha is reminding us of another mode, its natural mode, or its essential mode, which is infinite. Whatever it conceives of, that materializes. This statement can be very misleading, but let's just keep it in the context of what's being said. It can either conceive of itself as finite or conceive of itself as infinite. If it conceives of itself as finite, that's what it will be. However, if it begins to realize its own infinite nature, that's what it will be. Thus, having bound itself, having subjected itself to sorrow, like the silkworm with the cocoon, in the due course of time it attains to liberation, because its nature is infinite consciousness. So this is its nature, it's infinite consciousness, and we actually have opportunities to realize its nature several times a day. It's not a big secret, it's just a secret that we keep overlooking. Once you realize it, it's actually empirically obvious. It doesn't need any argument. What is seen as the universe is nothing but pure consciousness, O Ram. The universe is the clue. Everything that is going on is the clue. What is this going on that's going on? And what is it going on within? It's only going on within awareness. So the universe can take us, it can lead us into notions about a universe and the bits that make up the universe, But it can also direct us back to saying, well, what is all this existing within? It's existing within this awareness right here. Pure existence alone is the seed for this infinite consciousness. This is an unusual way of putting it. There's no seed for the infinite consciousness. There's no seed for the infinite consciousness because everything arises within infinite consciousness. But what we can say is that pure existence is this seed for the realisation of the infinite consciousness. Pure existence is what points us right back to infinite consciousness. And this is what gets explored next. So, awareness and the stream of experiencing, they are inseparable like the sun and his rays. However, this pure existence has two aspects. One, diversity, and second, unity. There's a lot of stuff going on, but there's the one awareness within which it's all going on, and which is non-different from. It's rather like the Chinese Yin and Yang symbol. This is a circle divided into black and white. You could divide it any way you like, actually. Black and white represent duality, represent diversity, but they both exist within the one circle. That which is described as this and that, I and you, is known as diversity. So this is the yin and the yang. When this diversity is abandoned and there is pure existence, it is regarded as unity. And we can think of this as the empty circle. Normally we're advised not to think in terms of unity because it implies diversity. But let's just go with this slightly different point of view here, or this slightly different way of expressing things. When diversity is abandoned and unity prevails, there is also non-experience. There's only experiencing. Experiencing is different from experience. Experience implies that there's somebody to experience and that there is something to be experienced. That's when we started conceptualizing experiencing. We've started homing in on aspects of it and saying things like, I am experiencing that. So that's experience, but we go beyond that and we're just open to the flow of experiencing. It's not about me experiencing anything. And hence unity is not a thing, not an object of experience. The unity is therefore eternal and imperishable. It's the awareness within which everything is happening. Hence, O Ram, abandon all forms of divisions in terms of time, or of parts, or of substance, and of concepts. Concepts are what divide things up. Concepts parcels things up. It allows us to think about things. When we think about things, we're actually limiting things. We're appreciating them and understanding them in a particular mode. But we should understand that as a temporary limiting of things, not the reality of things. These divisions are conducive to the arising of concepts. They are non-different from the pure consciousness. What is more, they are not facts as such. Contemplation of division does not lead to purity of vision. So we don't find out about the nature of things by parceling them up into notions or concepts. We abandon the whole conceptualization, or we step aside from it and rest in our own essential awareness.